All right, guys, I'm excited about this next guest here. This is someone we've talked to in the past, but in a different role. Looking forward to having a chance to catch up with Coach Brian Hartline. He is the new head coach at South Florida after an incredible run at Ohio State. There's a great player there, played in the National Football League, and then has taken over really as kind of the premier wide receiver coach in college football, then elevated to be the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes, and a fantastic job, and now has this opportunity as the head coach at South Florida. So wanted to catch up with him and get a chance to discuss this new challenge that he's facing and his excitement for this challenge. Here's our conversation with Brian Hartline. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking some time. I know it's been a wild, busy time for you here. Can you walk us through this decision process? I mean, we've talked to you before. Obviously, appreciate all the work you've done at Ohio State and doing the draft stuff every year with those wideouts, man, and now taking over as a coordinator. But what was this decision like to accept this one? I know this is not your first opportunity that you've had.
Yeah, it's there's no clear, easy way to navigate these things at times. I think for me, the ability to win consistently is really, really important to me. And so I've identified, USF as a place that can be done for sure. So that was a huge part just from football wise. I mean, it was all about ball. The connection with some people was important, but then it was, seeing, connecting with the leadership, right? I mean, to be able to make sure we're aligned, making sure that they understand, the process is going to be, it doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work. And they're kind of, coming in, they're only, a couple months in, and the alignment they have there just felt right. The communication felt right. And so you started painting that picture, and then you take it to your wife and your significant others, and my family, and they were very passive and they're very hold offish. But then as you continue to talk and they loosen it up, it was almost like they were the ones telling me we're doing this. So it progressed, really well, organically, went fast. Make no mistake about it. But I think that coupled with the last piece, like if I was going to leave or go somewhere, I really cherish home. I really cherish that family feel. And I've always felt, even though I was born and raised and lived a long time in Ohio, Florida was kind of always my second home. Frankly, that's how we've always felt that way. So it was the alignment. It was all of it. It wasn't just one piece, and really, really excited.
Coach, I heard you talk about people, process, and purpose being critical to being successful. Expand on that for us, but the people that haven't heard you talk about those tenets of success.
Yeah, I think people drive everything. So again, I don't want to get long-winded on us, but there's a lot of guys, and I'll start with this from an athletic standpoint. Like, there's a lot of guys that are 5'10" to 6'2", that weigh 175 pounds, 195 pounds, that, run a 4.45 to a 4.65. Like, there's a lot of those kind of players. So there's a lot of linemen that are 6'2" to 6'6", that weigh anywhere from 275 to 325. I mean, you have all those measurements. I just feel like people, their mental makeup and how they're wired and how they carry themselves and how they do one thing is how they do all things is ultimately the best identifier, best variable of success. And so, for us, people is everything. You don't necessarily want the best guys. You want the right guys, and the right guys are much more important than quote unquote the best guys, because the right guys become the best guys. So that's the people part. You win with people, and there's a lot more to that. Yeah. I would say process wise, I mean, at the end of the day, your practice, your record, your Saturdays are just feedback on how your process went, in my opinion. So if you want better results, if you want better outcomes, then change the process. Don't continue to do the same things and expect different results. That's silly. And then your purpose is just your motivating factor. I think a lot of times when you sit down and think about your purpose, whether your why or whatever that is, it gets lost from the day to day. And you may find it in your hardest times. But if I can bring it out in you, pull you aside, ask you to, to think of your why, and now go run the rep, I got a feeling it's probably the best rep you've had all day. So why can't we capture that day in and day out, rep after rep, week after week, to ultimately find the best version of yourself? So those three pillars, to me, I think is the mainstay of how things ultimately go.
Coach Rhett Lewis here, excited to chat with you. Congrats on this opportunity for you.
Thank you.
This is super cool. I've had such respect for your game when you were playing in the league, obviously playing in college too. And I was texting with one of my college teammates, Justin Fry, who I know is just super excited for you. Great dude. And
Fry's the man.
Yeah, he really is, man. And he had great things to say about you and what he learned from you in your time together there in Columbus. But I want to know, like, what you learned from others that have led you to this moment. Who are your biggest coaching influences that have kind of shaped who you want to be as a head coach?
Oh my gosh, you got enough time? Holy cow.
You got a little.
I'll go quickly and just rattle them off. I mean, I think that first, my high school head coach, Jack Rose, just the way he was there for me, to even for transportation to get to practice, like the impact that kind of had on me, to my high school hurdling coach, Chad Palmer, which we used to watch. I watched more film on hurdling in high school than I ever did like football. And like to become a technician at something, I think subconsciously, like that made a huge impact on me. Daryl Hazel at Ohio State, my college receivers coach, he was there the whole time. Between a great man, but just the way he operated and the way he brought me along and believed in me and all of that. And I was, very impressionable in the NFL as well. But those early years are so important. And I think that those ones just echo in your mind for a long time. I'd say, the one that always echoes for me was Jeff Ireland in New Orleans. I remember being as a rookie, he identified I had a hamstring. He goes, "Man, are your hamstring all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, if it doesn't get better quick, I'm going to find somebody else." And then ever since then, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to figure this out." So that made an impact on me forever, and we're lifelong friends. But I mean, the ones at Ohio State, Jim Tressel. I to this day, I wish I could be in a staff meeting with him and see how that operated. But to see how he operated as a coach still echoes with me. I would say as of late, I mean, Coach Meyer, being able to see him operate and do it the way he did it, and then to flip the script to see the way Ryan Day has done it, I think was pretty impactful. I think that seeing those different viewpoints allows you to know, like, just be yourself, fearlessly be yourself, and yourself is enough. Don't try to be somebody else. Coach Day did not try to be Coach Meyer, and Coach Meyer sure as heck ain't going to try to be anybody else. Right. So I really appreciated that. I think that Coach Day, at the most recent, I mean, his ability to handle the changing landscape of college football, still be tough, but still support it from a love perspective, handle NIL and that new changing variable. So there's been so much to learn from afar, but the day-to-day, seeing Coach Day operate, seeing Coach Philbin come into our staff a couple of years ago. That was my head coach in Miami. There were so many opportunities to learn. Very impactful, all very different, but I tried to absorb as much as I could.
Coach, one of the things I'm excited for you is you've done such a great job in, position room and then taking over an entire side of the ball. But I'm excited for you to get to build an entire program. And I know that's got to set you on fire. But from a foundation standpoint for Coach Hartline, head coach, where are you starting here as you build this thing? What's the foundation going to look like? Foundation's
always about the players. So what is best for the players? And I think that my true passion is developing individuals to go attack life and the NFL. I mean, I think that's really my passion. Like, I love maximizing individuals. I just talked about the people and how those metrics are such a wide range, but ultimately, how you're built mentally allows you to unlock everything you want to unlock athletically. So it's all about the players. What's right for the players? Which coaches have the right mentality to maximize these guys? I love some of the coaches that have done more with less. All that kind of thing from a coordinator standpoint. So there's a lot going into it, but I think at the end of the day, if I'm trying to do right by the players, I'm going to do right by their development, trying to do right by the honest communication. It'll find us in a good spot. So I've leaned heavily on that, spent a lot of time with those guys, and I look forward to continuing to surround them with the right guys.
Coach, I want to pick up on something that you just said about being honest and direct with the players. How did you develop that coaching style, and just in terms of just laying out there like it is, regardless of star factor and all that other stuff?
Well, I think you like to do, rely on your ability to identify that you picked the right guys, like they came to your program for the right reason. So if you did that properly, this is what they want, and again, you can only coach guys and be as honest as guys as their relationship allows. So you got to spend time on the relationship. That's really important. But if the relationship's intact, it's got to obviously come from a place of improvement, of love, of I want to help you get there. If I'm worried too much about hurting your feelings, like we're just delaying the inevitable. Now, if certain players need that, then that's what they need. That's a whole different conversation. Our job is to maximize individuals. Our job is to find what makes guys tick and how do we relate to them? How do we get the best out of them? And not everyone's the same. Trust me. Yeah. Every wide receiver in the room I've been with has not been the same. And I won't point out who was different. But for the most part, you'd like to get like-minded individuals that want to be surrounded by elite peers. Because I'll tell you what, you guys know, like there's nothing better than peer pressure. If you can bring on non-scholarship guys, you can bring in guys year after year that want to be the best. It's uncomfortable when you look over your shoulder and they're doing things the right way. They're going to class. They're getting all their academics done, and they're also balling on the football field. Like that's the model. And you want to find guys that want that smoke, not the ones that are scared of it.
Yeah. Look, Coach, so much of what we talk about here on Move the Sticks is about evaluation, right? It's about evaluation. It's about implementation of players and personnel. And obviously that's a big part of what you're talking about here in your pillars. And then obviously in today's college football, there's a lot of different ways, but in your mind, what's the right way to build a personnel department now at the college level that helps you get that evaluation piece done?
Yeah, evals are big. All right. That's a big part of it. Obviously, you're getting a little more potentially evals from the portal with guys playing, at least liked peers. At least that gives you some information. There's some analytics out there that you can use just to give you some reference points where you look at your current roster and what are their analytics. So when you kind of butt that up side by side with somebody potentially looking to go somewhere else, that can give you some information. There is still the eval. There is still the get them on campus. That's huge for high school. If you're not willing to come to campus, then it's probably just not the right fit. Right. But get those guys on campus, tangibly be able to work with them, try to coach them on something and see if they can apply it and how quick it takes them to apply it. That's a good tell. But there is still the baseball. It's still the not the eye test, but the gut test. But to me, if mental evaluation or mental makeup or how the guy is wired, how the family operates, like, if you don't spend time getting to know them, then you can't really make that evaluation, to at least the best of your knowledge. So it all goes part of it. I think that, but evals are really important. Your coaches have to do a great job. I think that's what's different about college football than the NFL. I mean, I think the NFL, they do a really good job of working on getting evals and submitting them, but the personnel department ultimately makes those decisions. I don't know if I fully believe in that. I always worry about, the chef making get
the Parcells. The Parcells.
That's what I'm saying. Right? You make the chef not gets his own ingredients, but you got to make a meal. That's kind of tough. So, again, that's kind of how my brain works. So again, the right coaches, the right staff, the right evaluators, the right recruiters, all those play a part, which is a little different still than the NFL.
Coach, I was talking to a baseball GM a while back, and he did some homework looking back on guys they got right and guys they missed. And think about how hard that's got to be when you're evaluating high school kids that are 7 years away from the big leagues. And he said, we found out the more points of contact we had with a kid, the better our opportunity was to get the evaluation right. So even just seeing him play live, but just being around the kid, being around him, watching him work, being around, maybe meeting some family members. How much of an advantage is it with your location where you are, where a tank of gas, you can bring kids in all the time? Like, not just, hey, he can pop in and visit campus one time, but you're going to get a chance to have a lot of points of contact with some of the best high school football in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, not only that, like you're pointing out, the ones that maybe went somewhere and didn't maximize it, or they didn't get the right coach to kind of push the right buttons, and now they want to come home. I mean, hey, for guys, feel free. I got you. I got a spot for you. So, and you know what? I think as long as I'm allowed, I'll pay for your gas. I'm good. I'll pay for your tip. Don't worry about that. So, but no, I think that it is a big part, right? I mean, that's the reality of it. If you have opportunities to pick somewhere where you want to be, I think it's an added bonus to want to be down here and surrounded by great players and be in the heat and be in a place that you can see yourself. I think that's a part of it. I think we also have an unbelievable new stadium coming on campus, unbelievable performance center that's linked to just for football here on campus. And so, we're 18 months out of that. So I can't even fathom once that happens. It's really a hot It's got some of the best football in America, and you don't need to go anywhere else to go find it. You can find it right here in Tampa. So we want to make sure we are prepared for that. We are prepared to support these guys at a very, very high level, and ultimately, the goals can be endless.
You know, Coach, at a time where college football is so much change, people in and out, transient, how do you build trust with your players? As you come into a new program, you're going to inherit a bunch of different players. How do you start the process of beginning to build trust with them?
Being around them as much as I can, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have a narrative. Okay, I want to make that really clear. Like, I do the best I can, which is shooting it real the whole time. And if I can just not keep up with a narrative in my head and I'm trying to, get something done, then it's always authentic. And so I had experiences early in my career where I was authentic, I was honest, and I just felt like it was best for the young men when I was that. And I didn't always work out in my favor, but good karma found us. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. So I'm always going to do right by the athlete. They're just trying to navigate it too. So I'm always just going to try to be as authentic as I can, whether I'm having hard conversations or I'm just on the football field trying to connect and just them get to know me and just talk and ask if they got a girlfriend or whatever else. That's kind of what I've been doing, at least this morning. I heard, they got in the weight room, they were lifting. So I was like, I'm going to get a lift in. So, I went in there and made sure that I was getting a lift with them. And
That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't know how else to do it besides just trying to just be yourself. And as you know, you guys have all been involved in sports. Like, we'll appreciate the coach that's authentic. Don't be anything more than yourself. I'll learn to love who you are, man. Like, it's not that crazy. You're in sports, so we got something in common. Like, so yeah. We'll be all right. Just be yourself.
Last one for me here, Coach. Just reading a little bit about how you kind of approach this now. Understanding so many guys in your position that are taking jobs in this cycle are doing so with a lot of work to do in terms of getting back to a certain standard. And USF has been playing some good football. You talked about that, had reverence for that, but you want to enhance it. Yeah. Where does that put you on your path? Maybe a little bit ahead of where you might have been otherwise to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we have great alignment here from the top down. So that's number one. I really appreciate that. They're relatively new as well. I mean, Derek Brooks is my COO, so like he ain't new, but like it's awesome to have. But like the honesty is, new AD, and he's done a great job. He was really one of the big reasons why I wanted to be here. So there is still work there, obviously with the coach moving on, going to Auburn. I think there's a lot of staff has left, so which creates some unstable feel for the players. You just want to make sure the players are stabilize, get your vision in there, let them feel you. There's obviously a lot of choices that be made here coming up in January when the portal kind of opens. So you just want to make sure if they choose to do that, they do it with all of the information at hand. They know the coach, they're getting to know me, and they see the vision, they see it coming together. If you make the choice at that point, I can sleep at night, but I don't want to make sure they're making the choice without that information. So I want to make sure they're fellow are well informed. That's really important to me. And so outside of those things, I think that we have an advantage because we have great players, frankly. There's going to be some guys that you can't retain, which is everyone in America. But we have a really good base. I think there's an opportunity to just be more consistent, and I think that the great teams out there, the great players out there, are much more consistent day in and day out. How they do everything, how they do all things. I'll say that all the time. I feel that. How clean's the locker room? How clean's the plane when you fly? Like, all of those things matter. And I think that there's probably an opportunity to be more consistent, which will show up on the field. There's probably an opportunity where there's a game or two you wish you could take back from this past year, the last couple of years. We want to eliminate that feeling and make sure we're doing a better job consistently week in and week out.
Coach, last thing for me is a two-parter. Number one, how excited are you to access the shorts drawer in your dresser? And number two, what are you going to do with all those sweatpants now? Though you can't use those anymore; they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a pants guy though too, so I'm going to still have some pants. I just got to find the real breathy one from Adidas. You know what I mean? That breathe well. But no, I hear you. I think my wife is definitely more excited about that than maybe me. But no,
You're gonna
that's
need
good
some.
stuff.
You're gonna need some suntan lotion on there. We're gonna need to protect. We need some UV protection on.
Yeah, at least early on, because I lost my
Yes.
base. I had my
build the
base.
up.
Yeah, correct.
There's Miami Heartline still in there, like that. Miami
Yeah. I mean,
Heartline line is.
I mean, that was like 15 years ago, so that part is gone. But like, I guess no. It's honestly, it's great to be back.
Yeah.
South Florida, Florida in general is my second home, and so to be back in this city, I felt the love from before, and it's exciting to move forward.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, man. Well, we've enjoyed getting to talk with you over the years. Look forward to catching up with you down the road. And quick PSA: if you're a wide receiver in the state of Florida and want to get coached by the absolute best, you probably ought to go to Tampa and check out Coach Hartline.
Oh, and I will be coaching. I am not walking out of that room. That room.
All right.
The receiver coach better just know we're both learning now.
Yeah.
He's going to be learning. I'm going to be learning. But I'm fully invested in that receiver room now.
Something tells me there might be some former Buckeyes who might be training a little bit in the offseason. That's going to sell.
Oh, well, and Mac's going to be our assistant coach. He said he's going to come over, and when he's
There you
not
go.
playing,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's cool.
If you want to get coached by Emeka Ibuka, feel free to come to South Florida.
There you go. Interesting, Coach. Hey, Coach, we wish you the best of luck,
All the
man.
best.
Super excited for you,
Thank you.
and good luck to the Buckeyes as well as you get into the tournament here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great to catch up with Coach Hartline. Again, really excited about this opportunity. There are players all over the state of Florida, and I have a feeling a good number of them are going to find their way to Tampa to play for one of the bright young coaches that we have in college football, really in the NFL as well. Just a really, really rising star. So can't thank him enough. Really enjoyed getting to visit with Brian Hartline.